Hi guys, I'm Aditi from PT Universe and the IELTS Universe. I welcome you all in today's live session. In today's live session, I'm going to talk about the writing task to essentials. So it's very important that you know like how to write the task. Today's class, what we are going to mainly focus is we are going to make sure that you understand the idea of like how to plan the essays. I'm checking a lot of essays and what I'm finding is that people are not planning their essays. So I'm going to teach you how to plan the essays. I'm going to teach you how to generate ideas for the essays. In the last lab class, maximum people had this question, how can we plan the essays? How can we develop the ideas for the essay? So this is what we're going to discuss about. Third thing which I'm going to talk about is the different question types and how to approach the different question types. What I'm seeing is a lot of people are writing, but they don't know how to approach different kinds of essays. So this is the agenda of today's class. And by the end, I'll take all your queries. So you can post your queries in the comment section. And by the end, we'll reach out to it as well as. Now, if I talk about writing task 2, we have different kinds of question types. As you can see on the screen, generally we get 5 question types. Now, some question types you need to make sure your opinion is there. Some question types do not ask for your opinion. How to approach the different question types, we'll start our class with it. Let's get started. So as you can see, there are 5 different types of task questions. Like first one I'll start with is opinion based essays. We call them agree or disagree, as well as like it can be do you agree, do you disagree, it can be to what extent do you agree or disagree. Now if it's do you agree, do you disagree, you can just take one opinion, completely agree, completely disagree. But if it's to what extent do you agree or disagree, on a scale of 1 to 100, you have the liberty to decide how much you agree, completely agree, partially agree, slightly disagree, like this. So you can see the example. Some people think that the only purpose of working hard is to earn money. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this opinion? So completely I get to know that this is an opinion based essay and this is asking for to what extent do you agree or disagree. So this is the first question type. Firstly, quickly we'll discuss the 5 question types and then we will go how to approach them. Because there are different kinds of structures for different kinds of essays which you can follow to score high. Now see this one. Next one. Read this. Discuss both views and give your opinion. These kinds of essays are very common and these are now different. When I'm asking you discuss both views, you need to make sure you give viewpoint 1, viewpoint 2, and you give your own opinion. It can be like discuss both views and it can be discuss both views and give your opinion. Both ways it can come in your exam, guys. So see this question. Some people believe that punishment is the only purpose of prisons, while others believe that prisons exist for various reasons. So in these kinds of essays, that what is the difference? In these kind of essays, you need to make sure, guys, that you present both the opinions, like side 1 also and side 2. You can just choose a kind of structure for these kind of essays. Like what we generally prefer is the first viewpoint you can talk in body paragraph 1, second viewpoint you can discuss in body paragraph 2, and opinion, guys, should be given in your introductions and opinion should be given in your conclusion as well as. So make sure your opinions are given in opinion, in introduction and in conclusion. Third essay type, guys, which we generally get in IELTS is again divided. First, it can be, read this, advantage, disadvantage essay. Now, this is also further bifurcated into 2 kinds of essays. First is, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and second is, do you think advantage outweigh disadvantage? Both of them are completely different. Please read the question on the screen. You will get to know what's the difference between them. In some countries, governments are encouraging industries and businesses to move to regional areas outside the big cities. Do the advantage of this outweigh the disadvantage? So here you have to mention advantage and disadvantage, but you have to clearly tell which one side is heavier. And accordingly, you have to present your essay. Maybe you think advantages outweigh, means advantages are more. So in body paragraph, you should write more advantages and less disadvantage. Or you think vice and versa. Had this question been like what are the advantage, what are the disadvantage, then you do not need to give your opinion. Means you can or you cannot, up to you. But here it's very clearly given, guys, that you need to give your opinion. So just one small tip, bonus tip, which is coming from my side now. If the examiner is asking you your opinion, make sure you give your opinion, because if you fail to give your opinion, you will not get good marks. Because if you look at the marking criteria, I hope you've watched my previous videos. I've explained you that in the marking criteria, it's clearly given for task achievement. You need to clearly answer the question. If you do not answer the question completely, you lose marks. Fourth question type which we have is cause and effect, problem solution, cause and solution, like this. Have a look. Despite improvements in vehicle technology, there are still large number of road accidents. Explain some of the causes of these accidents and suggest some measures that could be taken to address the problem. So basically, if you read this kind of question, here we are asking a kind of major problems which are happening and the possible solution. So we get to know it's a kind of problem solution essay. So problem solution essays, typical question words are problem solution, cause and solution, something like this. And the structures are very simple. Like body paragraph 1, you can just keep the problem, explain the problem, give example. You can even include two problems. If you're including two problems, make sure in body paragraph 2, you're stating two solutions for the two problems. And conclusion always is a summary. Next we have is the double questions, or you can call multiple two-part question tasks, anything like this. So what is happening? Just see. In these kinds of questions, generally we ask two questions. There will normally be a statement, as you can see, and then you will answer two separate questions. Many people around the world are choosing to move to live in cities. What problems do people experience in big cities? Should governments encourage people to move to smaller towns? So two problems. First thing, you need to answer this question, and secondly, you need to answer this question. So basically, guys, what happens is in double question, make sure you answer both the questions. Now you can like follow very simple structure, which I will share with you. Introduction, then body paragraph 1, you can dedicate to question number 1. So you can answer this question directly. You can explain why, explain, give example. And body paragraph 2, you can dedicate to this one. So you can kind of answer it, explain it, give exampling, like this. So different body paragraphs you can make, so that you are also very clear with what kind of structure you are following. Now this is all about the structures which I have explained you, but now I have included this class to cover 2-3 things which major people were facing issues with. Second thing, I'm going to talk about how to start the essays. Like basically you need to follow some steps to get a higher band score, whether it's 6 or 7 or 8. So what I have seen with people is, guys, 90% of the people are writing the essays, and the way they have written it clearly looks like they don't plan this essay. So you can see on the screen, I have given you kind of rough idea. When you see your writing task 2, always read the question carefully. And guys, when you read it, you need to look for keywords, micro keywords, action words. I've explained that in my previous videos. If you have not seen, please go and watch it on our YouTube channel, PTE Universe. See, good plan. Why I'm saying you to plan? It will help you in coming out with a better answer. Now, a good plan should be something like a map, that guides through the essay. And examiner actually doesn't have to brainstorm a lot. He is able to recognize by the introduction and different ways what he is going to read ahead. Fine. So best thing I'll tell you, you can spend 5 to 10 minutes on planning the essay. By planning, what I mean is not wasting time. Read the question, identify 3 things. I'm writing it here as well as keywords, micro keywords, action words. These 3 things you need to identify. Then if it's an opinion-based essay, you need to decide your opinion. Today, I will show you how you can decide your opinion, maybe you have lots of ideas and you guys are like how to decide the opinion. So if it's to what extent do you agree, disagree, you can decide agree / disagree. If it's outweigh disadvantage, then you can decide advantage, you're on the side of advantage or you're on the side of disadvantage. So all these things comes under the planning stage. Now third thing, which maybe you are not doing by checking the writings, I feel so, I'm not sure, note down ideas. Actually what happens is now when people start writing, they're like, oh my god, Aditi, I have so many ideas and I'm not able to write it down, and they mess up the essay. We don't want lots of ideas. Of course, when you will see the question, you will get multiple ideas in your head, but we don't want lots of ideas. We want ideas, we want explanation of the ideas, because if you don't develop the answer, you will score low in the task achievement. And we also want one more thing from your side, that is explanation of the ideas. So see this, by planning, we also mean jotting down. If you've attended my speaking master classes, I've explained you already that you need to make a mind mapping. In the workshop also, IELTS Road to Success, we explained you how a plan in the speakings and in the writings are going to help you score high. Same is here case. So these three things, plannings, I hope you're clear with. Now comes the writing stage. Once you have planned the things, you have done the question analysis, that is keywords, micro keywords, action words, you have done the idea generation. Idea generation, I'm going to focus in detail in today's session. You have made a rough structure. Structures also I've explained you how the structure should be for different kinds of essays, and vocabulary, because lexical resources also giving 25% of the marks, guys. So you can't leave it. So some people I have seen, they're repeating the same words, especially words from the question over and over again. Don't do that. You will lose lots of marks. Again, I'm repeating, don't repeat the same words from the question, guys. This will lower your mark for vocabulary, because it shows that we can't think of synonyms. And IELTS, you're taking these exams are all based on vocabulary. They need to see how much you can paraphrase. Paraphrasing is a very, very, very important tool. So make sure you think of relevant synonyms, and just a basic tip I'll give you, identify words in the question that we might need to use more than once in the question, and think of their possible synonyms. Let's say it's living longer, so we can say improved longevity. So like this, if it's advantage, I can use the word benefit. For disadvantage, we can use the word drawback. So think of like this, and you will be able to easily paraphrase the things. Now come to the writing stage. Writing stage, you should spend 30 minutes, guys. Now writing is majorly bifurcated into 4 paragraphs: introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusions. For introduction and conclusion, we spend less time, 5 minutes, and rest you can spend 7 to 8 minutes or so, up to you. But after writing, 99% of the people are not proofreading. So make sure once you have written your essays, you need to proofread to just find out the mistakes you are doing. Subject verb agreement, tenses error, find noun pronoun agreement, punctuation mistakes. These basic small errors you can get rid of. And for this, we have already launched a course called Grammar 0 to Hero. And today is our 3rd class of paraphrasing there. Now, just have a look. Many people are like, Aditi, I'm not clear when we should give our opinion, because in the, like, sometimes you will get question where it's clearly given, give your opinion, but sometimes it will not be straightforward. You yourself have to decide when to give your opinion. Okay, so now see this. I have written some sort of clues for you. If it's to what extent do you agree or disagree? So it's asking you your opinion, how much you disagree on a scale of 1 to 100. Give your opinion. Now, if it's like give your opinion, give your opinion. If it's to the advantage outweigh the disadvantage, give your opinion. And what if it's like what according to you, is it a positive or negative development, then also give your opinion. So when the opinion is asked, make sure you give your opinion. Fine. Now, guys, today's class specially I've organized so that I can talk about brainstorming ideas, because 90% of the people are like we face problems when we have to generate the ideas. We are having that issue. If you are also having this issue, let me know in the comment section. This class will make it a bit more easier for you how to generate the ideas, and it's not that tricky to generate the ideas also. So I've just added a question on the screen. I want you to read and let me know in the comment section what is your opinion. Families who send their children to private schools should not be required to pay taxes that support the state education system. To what extent do you agree or disagree? I've added some difficult questions so that you get to know the importance of good ideas in writing tasks too, or relevant ideas. I'll say you need to have relevant ideas if you want to score high. I have taken some topics with the related vocabulary, topic specific vocabulary, so you get to know what is expected to write, and you get to know, okay, how you need to develop your ideas. So like this. So this is one kind of question. I'm gonna give you a minute to read it, and I'll be looking into your chat box. Just read it and try to write your ideas in the chat box so that we could discuss it in detail. I'm repeating. Families who send their children to private schools should not be required to pay taxes that support the state education system. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? So basically, there are different families. Some people are poor, some people are rich. So some families send their children to private schools, public schools. There are private schools and there are government schools. So they should not be required to pay taxes that support. So basically, there are some taxes which support the state education system. So they should not be allowed. So do you think it's correct? Do you think it's not correct? You need to decide. So now, completely first, when you read the question, you need to analyze the keywords, action keywords, micro keywords, and action words. This is a kind of, to what extent do you agree or disagree question type. Fine. So I feel I have more ideas for disagree. First of all, guys, what ideas you can say? See, if a government makes its systems, we need to have more people to support the system. More staff is required to see, okay, how many people are actually going to put their children into private school. So this means more government staff would be required for this process. Also, guys, we all pay for public services that we may not need, like police. So we can't exclude one kind of people from this system. Also, guys, a well-educated workforce is the key to prosperous nation. So I think everybody should pay tax. We should not exclude some particular kind of subcategory. Also, this way, like, some people are putting tax, some people are not giving tax. It will be very difficult for the government to calculate the tax reduction, which will lead to faulty tax payments. Also, poorer people, if we compare, of course, who are going to put people in the private schools? Richer peoples. So this way, what is happening? The vice versa thing is happening, means rich people would be paying less tax, and the poorer people, rich people will be paying less, and poorer people would pay more tax than the wealthy people, which is totally wrong. Ideally, poor people should pay less tax. States, schools should benefit the whole of society. So everything should be available to everybody. So brainstorm ideas like this. You can even write the ideas in short form on a piece of paper. And once you organize the ideas, na guys, then think which side you want to go with. So after brainstorming, what happens is people are not organizing the ideas, and that is clearly visible in their essays, because the opinion keeps on fluctuating, and that gives a very wrong impression to the examiner. The examiner gets to know that you have not understood the question well. So what I'm going to now suggest you, after brainstorming, please organize the ideas, and you can just organize the main themes, like reasons why we think the idea would not work or would be unfair, which I've told you, because it will be difficult to calculate the tax deduction and more government staff would be required. Or you can put one more idea, like, poorer people would pay more tax, which is very much unfair. So basically, after brainstorming, we need to organize the ideas. That's what I'm trying to say in 2 body paragraphs. And one idea per 1 body paragraph you can pick up. 2 ideas also you can pick up, but we suggest you 1 idea, 1 explanation of the idea, example of the idea. Let's look into one more example. The question is in front of you. Please read the question. Let me know keywords, micro keywords, action keywords in the chat box. More and more students are choosing to study at colleges and universities in a foreign country. Do the benefits of studying abroad outweigh the drawbacks? This is a very easy question we have taken. And I've tried to compile different kinds of essays in today's class so that, you yourself feel you have covered a couple of things, and, you learn the art of idea generation too. This essay is not related to students. This essay is not related to universities. This essay is not related to foreign countries. You have to talk about students who are choosing to study at universities in foreign country. So if you're writing about foreign education, if you're writing about students, no, you have to compile the students who are going for foreign education, who are going abroad. And then you have to decide benefits outweigh the drawbacks. Which side is heavier? Now I'll talk about first benefits. First is why people go for abroad education. You also are going. That's why you're doing these exams. Huh? Because they want to study at a prestigious university. They want to get education from a prestigious college. Second, if you see the best university, they employ lecturers who are experts in their fields. So basically everybody wants to get a better education. Also, people say that education in a foreign country is based on practical learning, whereas in some developed countries they feel it's based more on theoretical knowledge. Some people also feel, guys, that qualifications, if you are gaining abroad, it can open door to better job opportunities. So what people do, they fly to other countries, do the masters, then come back to do job in their home countries. Many people go for cultural exchange. If you know what is cultural exchange, like, when you will go to foreign countries, or you will go to different kinds of unis, you will find people from India, China, Pakistan, Malaysia, Singapore, and then you are exposed to different culture, different customs, where you can immerse yourself in different language. So there are many benefits. Let's talk about drawbacks now. There are many drawbacks also. What are the drawbacks? Some people are homesick, guys. It's very difficult for them to live away from their homeland, live away from their parents. It's very, very difficult for them. Apart from that, students have problems with paperwork, like visa application. Sometimes, let's say you're going to Rome. So French, generally people speak French there. Language barrier is a major problem. If you don't know English, you're going for foreign country, it's also a kind of language barrier. That's why we introduced this course, speaking 15 days challenge. If you have not enrolled, we're going to restart this course. Make sure you enroll and improvise your speaking skills. Students, guys, that also have to find accommodation, pay hefty bills, and that becomes very difficult for people. So cultural shock also, people feel like, here you're going from India, we have a different culture, you're going to different country that's having a different culture. So basically this is how you can make a rough plan. Now I'm going to show you the rough plan, how you can make it on a piece of paper. Not exactly like this, I've written the complete lines to make sure you can understand, but you can just create a rough plan in your before writing the essay, and then you can decide which idea you want to pick up, which idea you want to explain, so that you are able to stick to one idea, explanation of the idea, example of the idea. One more question we will discuss related to discuss both views. See the question on the screen. Some people believe that it is wrong to keep animals in zoos, while others think that zoos are both entertaining and ecologically important. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Now, this is a kind of discussion-based essay plus opinion. I've already explained you when it's discussed both views, you need to make sure in body paragraph 1 you discuss one, in body paragraph 2 you can include second one, but you need to give both the ideas. If you want, you can do one thing, you can include opinion in one of those body paragraphs, make a separate, or you can write more positive aspects. If you're on the positive side, if you're on the negative side, you can write negative aspects. So just think and let me know in the comment section what is your opinion. The many opinions. First, I've read the question. It's like some people believe that it is wrong to keep animals in zoos. Other things, zoos are both entertaining and ecologically important. The many positives also of keeping animals in zoos. Like, see, zoos have a very important role in our, lives. Economical, environmental perspective. I'm discussing with you. It helps in wildlife conservation. All the endangered species you can protect through zoos. And also, scientists do a lot of research, like the vaccine rollout of coronavirus. All this was first done on animals only. Okay, it's viable, and then it's done on humans. So basically, they can study animal behavior too. Economic perspective of the zoo is also there. Economically, if you know, zoos employ large number of people. There are so many zoos all over the world which are very much popular, and they charge hefty fees for from the people. So basically, it creates job opportunities and income for the local area. You can take example of any kind of zoo. You can fake the examples in IELTS also, and the money you raise that can be used for conservation projects. And personally, if I talk about my personal perspective on zoos, they're interesting. They're educational. We all have, whenever we were toddlers or when we were in the first, second, third standard, zoos, schools especially take you to zoos because children find it fun, and they actually it's a kind of a great day out for families. Children also learn how to appreciate wildlife and nature. But there are some negatives of zoos. Like, zoos are artificial environments. Basically, if we humans want to interact with the people of our own kind, animals also want it. They lose their instinct to hunt for food. And it's very difficult, like, for animals to be in caged structures. And it's unethical as well. As we have no right to use animals for entertainment, because this exhibit animals with the aim of making a profit. So basically, it has some pros, it has some cons. So just think about topics from different perspectives. That's a useful techniques. It helps you to generate variety of interesting ideas, and use this techniques before you start planning your ideas. So this is how you can plan your ideas to score high, to get a higher band score. The different kinds of things we have discussed in today's session, I hope it's helpful. You can join our Telegram group for daily practice, PTE Universe. You will find us on Telegram as well. As apart from that, you can follow us on Instagram. We are starting new batches for PT/IELTS, and we're having different packages, different courses. Grammar courses are already, we have rolled out those as well. As today's session was more related to idea generation. If you liked it, let me know. And now is the time I'll be taking all